welcome to another deep dive. And this one is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take a look at UOAlive,
That's right.
a really thriving free shard
Yes.
of Ultima Online.
Yes.
And I say it's going to be fun because this is all about the people.
Absolutely.
And just getting to know, who's running the server, who's behind it, who's behind the curtain. For a fan-run server, you've got to have passion, dedication, and it sounds like this team has a lot of it.
They really do. And, it's kind of a funny thing because the team, they're all from various walks of life.
Yeah.
We've got, Blizzard cinematic artists,
Really?
cybersecurity directors, ferret owners.
Yeah.
It's a really eclectic group, and it's going to be really fun to kind of get to know these folks.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, what is it about UOAlive that brings together all these different types of people?
Right.
I think it'll be interesting to sort of learn that as we go through these profiles.
Absolutely.
So why don't we start with the server owner triage?
Sounds good to me.
And his gaming journey is so interesting. He starts out with Atari, with his dad.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the arcade.
Right.
Beastmaster, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just like classic arcade games. And then it sounds like, he got a computer.
Mm-hmm.
He had an Apple, which is funny because a lot of games back in the day weren't necessarily on Apple.
Yeah.
So he's talking about the struggle of trying to play games with his friends,
Yeah.
Who all had PCs.
Yeah, I always forget that was like a real thing. Like you would go over to a friend's house and like they wouldn't have the right kind of computer.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, I can't play this with you. And it's funny because he was so committed to gaming even then that he was like, I'm going to figure out a way to play this with my friends. And then, of course, Ultima Online came out.
Right, of course.
And he had dual ISDN lines.
Ah!
That's how dedicated he was.
I forgot all about ISDN.
I know. It's like a blast from the past. But it's so cool because he talks about that moment, that first time where you log into Ultima Online and you're like, hi, are you real?
Yeah, that's it.
That sense of wonder, that sense of connection, it's something that so many MMO players, experience. And he was really hooked from that moment on. And I love this. He talks about learning about scimitars from Ultima Online before you learned about them in a social studies class.
That's great.
So it's almost like, UO became a part of his education.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us, those early MMOs, they were so immersive and there was so much to learn that, you really felt like you were part of this living, breathing world,
Yeah, and it's interesting because he really wants UOAlive to have that same kind of, spirit.
Yes. Yeah.
That same kind of feeling where people can be themselves, that the community built on, transparency, honesty, and passion. He really wants that.
And that really comes through in his leadership style too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. He talks about not wanting to, be a dictator. He's not trying to, run the server with an iron fist.
Right.
It's really about, letting the team do their thing, letting their personalities come through. But at the same time, they have that shared love for the game.
Absolutely. That's the glue that holds everything together, right?
Yeah, and one thing that I really appreciated that he said was that he encourages everyone to, share a bit about themselves so that the community can, understand each other better, connect on a deeper level.
I like that a lot.
And he ends his profile with this great line. He says, "Don't be surprised if you see me talking like a 3-year-old." Because he gets so excited about things.
He's got that youthful energy, that passion that's infectious, really.
Totally.
Yeah.
It makes you want to jump right into the game and say hi to him.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So next up, we have Skylar Bain, but everybody calls him Jay.
Yeah, Jay.
Now, let's clear this up right away because I'm sure people are wondering.
Yes.
Is it Skylar?
Yes, it is pronounced Skylar, but not from Hamilton.
Not from Hamilton.
Well,
he actually got it from a history class about a vice president, Scalar Colfax. Not somebody that a lot of people know about.
Right.
But it's kind of cool how our names can have these unexpected origins, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of origins, Jay's history with UO goes way, way back.
Long time.
He's been playing since launch in 1997, so over 25 years.
Wow.
That's insane. That's longer than some people have been alive.
That's right. That's right.
And it gets even better. He actually got his kids into the game, so it's like a family affair now.
That is so cool.
I love that, and it shows that, UO is more than just a game. It's something that can be shared across generations, and his real-world job is kind of a perfect fit for his role in UOAlive.
Oh, yeah.
He leads a training department for an IT company.
So, think about that. He's managing systems.
Yeah.
He's troubleshooting problems.
Right.
He's explaining things clearly to others.
Right.
And he's patient.
Yeah. Those are all like the core ingredients for being a great server administrator.
Totally, totally. And you can tell that he brings that same patient, helpful approach to UOAlive because he's a new player companion. So he's the one who helps new players get started, and that's so important for creating a welcoming environment, especially for an MMO that can be a little daunting for newcomers.
For sure. I mean, UO's always had a bit of a reputation for being a challenge for new players, right? So having someone like Jay there to kind of guide them through those early stages, that's invaluable.
Yeah, it really is. And, beyond that, he's just a huge sci fantasy fan, loves Lego, used to build his own PCs. Like, this guy is a true geek at heart.
That's awesome. I love it.
And you can tell that enthusiasm, that passion, carries over into his work on UOAlive.
Absolutely.
He joined the server in 2020, became a new player companion, and now he considers it his UO home, which is really cool. That's awesome. It's amazing to see how people find their place in these online communities. So, we've got Triage, you've got Jay, and now let's talk about Blue, also known as Jeff in the real world.
Jeff, okay.
Yeah, and his story, it's just a great example of how groundbreaking Ultima Online was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about this. He got into UO because a friend's cousin offered up some spare chest space in his house.
In the game.
In the game.
Okay, so he's storing items.
He's storing items.
Like at his friend's cousin's house in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. And back then, I mean, this was like a revelation.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you can own a house in a video game? What?
I know. Like, that was unheard of.
Unheard of.
And he was immediately hooked. And he even talks about, stepping on a rune and a claw and getting completely lost, which is like the classic newbie experience in UO.
Oh, totally. I can't tell you how many times I got lost in those early days.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the charm, right? Like, it's part of what makes the game so immersive.
For sure. And, Blue, he really emphasizes the importance of community. That's what drew him and his friend, Yellow, or Andy, to UOAlive. They wanted a server that was more focused on PvE content, player versus environment, and had this really welcoming atmosphere.
Oh, so they're not into PvP, the player versus player combat?
No, not so much. They were looking for a more cooperative, more social kind of experience.
Got it. And so they wanted to focus on their characters, their journey, and explore the High Seas expansion, which was all new to them. Now, for those who don't know, High Seas is a huge expansion to UO. It has ship combat, customizable boats, these vast ocean areas to explore. So, you can see why that would appeal to players who are looking for new adventures.
Absolutely. And it sounds like that's exactly what Blue and Yellow were looking for. And then in his real life, Blue is a data engineer, which, makes sense given his role on the server. But he also jokes that his treasure hunting skills haven't transferred to real life, which I find hilarious.
Well, because he's a data engineer, so he's probably looking for treasure in data.
Exactly. He's like digging through code and databases, trying to find those hidden gems. It's a great analogy.
I love that. And outside of the game, he's raising 2 teenagers. He plays in an old man hockey league. He likes fishing, learning Italian, playing guitar. Like, this guy's a busy guy.
Wow. Yeah, he's got it going on. I love that. And it just goes to show you that the people who make up UOAlive, they're not just these one-dimensional gamers, They've got rich lives and interests outside of the game, and that makes them even more interesting to get to know.
Yeah, and I think that also makes the community more interesting. When you have people from all these different backgrounds, it brings a different perspective and a different energy to the server. And Blue closes by saying that he really appreciates being able to volunteer and give back to the community.
Oh, it's nice.
So it's more than just a hobby for him. It's a chance to connect with others and make a difference, which is really cool.
I love that. And speaking of giving back to the community, let's talk about Yellow.
Okay, Yellow.
Who is Andy in real life. But, he's been Yellow for so long that even his kids call him Yellow.
Wow, that's dedication.
Right. It's like it's become part of his identity. And it's kind of fitting because Yellow, he embraces randomness, which, is perfect for a game like Ultima Online where, you can really kind of be anyone and do anything.
Yeah. It's that sandbox element of UO that really appeals to a lot of players. It's that feeling of freedom that you're not locked into a specific class or a specific path.
Exactly. And that's what keeps Yellow coming back to UO even after trying other games.
Right. And I know he tried other MMOs. But he always seems to come back to UO.
Yeah, he and Blue, actually, they specifically chose UOAlive because it it really emphasized the journey of your character. You know, they wanted a server that allowed them to kind of create their own stories and their own experiences rather than just following a predetermined path. And UOAlive, it really delivers on that promise. You know, the server's designed to encourage player creativity and exploration. You can choose your own path, whether it's, you know, becoming a master craftsman, a skilled warrior, or a peaceful merchant. It's all about shaping your own destiny in the world of Britannia.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that makes UO so timeless. It's really up to the players to decide what they want to do and how they want to experience the world.
Absolutely. And in real life, Yellow is a website builder, and he kind of jokingly refers to himself as accidental IT support for small businesses.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that.
Right. Like, oh, you know about computers. Can you help me with this?
Yeah.
But at heart, he's a gamer through and through. You know, he talks about his journey from Atari to Minecraft with his kids and grandkids.
Ah, that's cute.
And UOAlive is his time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a place where he can relax, he can connect with others, he can indulge in his passion, and it's beautiful to see how gaming can bring people together across generations like that.
Yeah, it really is, and it's heartwarming to see how Yellow has found a community where he feels at home. And he ends his profile with this really nice open invitation. He says, if you see me in game, say hi.
Ah, love that.
So, you know, he's really encouraging that interaction and fostering that sense of community that UOAlive is known for.
I think that's a perfect segue into our next team member, Anathmort.
Okay.
Who is Michael in real life.
Michael.
And his story is particularly interesting because it highlights how UO can spark a passion for software development.
Yeah, it's amazing how this game has actually had a real impact on people's lives, you know, leading them down unexpected career paths.
Yeah.
He talks about growing up, you know, battling his brother for UO time over dial-up.
Oh, I remember those days.
Oh, struggle is real.
Yeah.
You know, his brother was the crafter. He was more the adventurer.
Okay.
And they even managed to, you know, get their first small house, I think, outside of Trinsic.
Oh, nice.
But of course.
There's always a but in Ultima Online, right?
Yeah, overrun by PKers.
Classic.
Classic tale of, you know, triumph and heartbreak. And all those experiences, it led him to programming.
Really?
Yeah, he started tinkering with Fear and Run UO emulation. He even ran his own server. Now, you know, for those who might not be familiar, Fear and Run UO, those are basically tools that allow you to create and customize your own UO servers. So, you know, it's like having the building blocks to create your own version of Britannia.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's incredible how a game can spark that kind of creativity and technical skill. And that experience, you know, taught him about networks, data centers, game design, and it ultimately led to his first professional programming job.
It's amazing how these things that we do for fun can actually turn into real world skills and even careers, right? It's a testament to the power of learning by doing, and it's a common thread we see among a lot of the UOAlive team members. You know, they've taken their passion for the game and they've turned it into real world expertise.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to the dedication and the passion that this team has. You know, they're not just playing the game, they're really invested in it. They're invested in the community, and they want to make it the best it can be. And so Anathmort eventually joined UOAlive looking for a more casual experience. He had been playing on a popular free shard, found it a little too hardcore.
Yeah.
And he was craving a friendlier community, which it sounds like he found.
That's great.
Yeah, and it shows that, you know, there's a UO server out there for everyone, you know.
Right.
Whether you're seeking that intense competition or a more relaxed and social atmosphere. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So he was watching a stream of triage debugging.
Yeah.
And he couldn't help himself. He had to share some tips.
Oh, that's fun.
And that's how he ended up on the team.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
That's great. I mean, it just goes to show you how passion and expertise can open these unexpected doors, you know?
Yeah.
And it also shows how open and welcoming the UOAlive team is, you know? They value contributions from everyone, regardless of their background. It's really a testament to their commitment to building a community where everyone feels welcome and valued.
Okay, so let's move on. We've got the town fool.
Kenny. Yes. And this is where we see a direct connection to the world of professional gaming.
Right.
Because Kenny, he was a community manager at Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh, wow.
Talk about experience.
Yeah.
This guy knows how to build positive gaming environments.
Right.
And that's, that's perfect for UOAlive's community-driven approach.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that he actually had a prior connection to triage from his time at Blizzard. So it was almost like a natural fit for him to kind of join the UOAlive team.
That's cool how those paths converged,
Yeah. And Kenny's passion for UOAlive, it really shines through in his profile. He talks about this magical discovery, the dedication and passion being on a whole other level. It's almost like you can feel his enthusiasm through the words on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's contagious. It makes you want to experience that magic for yourself.
Yeah, and it's not just about the game itself. It's more than just, logging in and playing. He sees it as a testament to the power of community-driven experiences.
Yeah.
A place where players can connect, they can explore, they can create, and it's safe, it's positive. And he really emphasizes, inclusivity, welcoming diverse voices, different perspectives, learning and growing together. I mean, that's really crucial for creating, a thriving and welcoming environment,
It is, and it's something that the UOAlive team takes very seriously. They're committed to fostering a community where everyone feels respected and valued, and I think that's really commendable.
Yeah, and he ends his profile with excitement about being part of the team and an invitation, for others to join this extraordinary journey together.
Oh, that's lovely. It's like a call to action, isn't it?
It is. It is. And it makes you want to just dive right in and be a part of something special.
I'm really enjoying this.
Me too. Me too. So we've got two more folks that we're going to talk about today.
That's right.
And I'm really excited to get into these because these profiles are just so interesting.
I know, they really are.
Let's start with Zyto, or Peter, as he's known in the real world.
Okay.
He's got like a long history with UO.
Mm-hmm.
Started in '98 on Catskills.
Wow.
Then in the year 2000, he moved to player-run shards.
So he's seen a lot.
He's seen the evolution of the UO community firsthand.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, he's been around the block.
He has, and he didn't just stick to UO.
Oh.
He talks about playing other MMOs, like Ashrent's Call,
Okay.
Shadowbane, Darkfall,
Okay.
Rift.
Oh, wow.
He even played some Overwatch competitively.
No way.
But ultimately, nothing compared to UO for him.
It's funny how that happens, right?
Yeah.
Like you try all these other games,
right.
and there's always that one that pulls you back in.
That you always go back to.
Yeah.
Now get this. In real life, Zyto is a director of cybersecurity.
You kidding?
I'm not kidding. Penetration testing, ethical hacking, the whole 9 yards.
That's amazing.
No.
It's like something out of a movie.
I know, right?
That's so cool.
And it makes perfect sense for his role in UOAlive.
Oh, yeah.
He's the systems architect.
Right. He's got to keep those systems secure, make sure everything runs smoothly, keeps those hackers out.
Yeah. He even has this funny little anecdote in his profile.
Oh. What is it?
He says, as I'm writing this, I'm sitting here in a T-shirt that says, change your password.
I love it.
I know, right?
It's great. It shows he's not just doing this for a job. He's passionate about it.
Absolutely. And that expertise is invaluable.
Oh, yeah.
To the UOAlive community.
Absolutely. It gives everyone peace of mind, knowing that, their data is safe, the gameplay experience is going to be stable.
Yeah.
It just adds another layer of professionalism.
It does. It really does.
Right. So we've got Zyto, the cybersecurity expert. Now let's talk about Aldor Smythe.
Okay, Aldor Smythe.
Who's Joe in the real world?
Yeah.
He's been playing UO since '98.
Right.
Another veteran.
Another one, yeah.
So he really knows the game.
Inside and out. And get this, he's a software engineer by day.
No way.
I know. And he works on software for the automotive industry.
Wow.
Now, it doesn't get into the specifics.
Right.
But it makes you wonder, is he working on self-driving cars?
Ooh, I mean, maybe electric vehicles.
Like, what is he doing?
A little mystery.
A little bit of a mystery, yeah. It's kind of cool.
It is, and it just shows you, again, like the talent, the diversity on this team.
Absolutely.
They've got these amazing lives outside of UOAlive, and yet they still find the time to dedicate to this project.
It's impressive, and his journey is interesting, too.
How so?
He started in IT support, worked his way up to solutions architect, but he got bored with infrastructure.
Really?
So he switched to programming.
Wow, that's a big leap.
It is, but he says, there's no possibility I will ever lose the thrill of writing code and seeing it in action.
That's great.
I know. It's like he found his calling.
He did.
And he loves it.
You can tell.
And I'm sure that passion translates into the work he does for UOAlive.
Oh, absolutely.
He gets to tinker with the code,
right,
create new content, really have a direct impact on the player experience.
That's got to be so rewarding.
I know.
And to top it all off, he lists his 3 passions as video games, fast cars, and ice hockey.
Oh, wow.
Like, this guy's living the dream.
He is. He really is.
He seems like he just brings that same energy and enthusiasm to his work on UOAlive.
He does.
And you know what? He actually ended his profile by saying that he's eager to meet players in-game.
Oh, that's cool.
And design awesome new content.
Yeah, like he's inviting people to come and collaborate with him.
He is. He really is.
That's awesome.
It's that kind of personal touch that really makes this community special.
Yeah, it does.
So we've met everyone.
We have.
The entire UOAlive team.
I'm blown away.
I know, right?
Like their backgrounds, their dedication.
Their
passion. It's incredible.
It is. And it's inspiring, you know?
It is.
To see people come together like this and build something so special.
Yeah. Are you ready to wrap things up?
I think so, yeah.
So we've met the whole team now. I don't know about you, but I'm like, wow. Really impressed.
I am too, yeah. Like, we've got Blizzard cinematic artists, cybersecurity directors, ferret owners. It's like, what? This is amazing.
And it makes you think, what is it about UO that, like, even decades later, it still brings people together from all walks of life?
Right. And not just to play the game, but they want to keep it alive, you know? They're putting so much effort into it.
It really says something about the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That it inspires that level of dedication.
Yeah. And honestly, the thing that stands out to me the most from all these profiles is the passion. It just oozes out of them.
Oh, yeah. They're not just maintaining a server, are they? They're building a whole community,
yeah,
whole world where people can connect and feel good about it.
And it's like they took all the good stuff about UO, the exploration, the friendships, the feeling that you can be whoever you want to be, and they, like, turned it up to 11 with UOAlive.
I see that. Like, they really build a culture of helping each other out, being open and honest, and making sure everyone feels included.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not just about being nice. I mean, these people have serious skills.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about Zyto, the cybersecurity guy, keeping everything safe and running smoothly. And Aldor Smythe, the software engineer, actually building stuff for the game.
Right. Like, these are real-life, professional-level skills that they're using to make UOAlive better.
It really shows that this is more than just a hobby for them. It's like a passion project, something they really pour their hearts into.
And it shows in the final product, too. The server's not just up and running, it's thriving, all thanks to the hard work of this amazing team.
So for those listening, why should you care about the UOAlive team and their stories?
Well, I think it gives you a glimpse into what makes this community so special. It's not just about the game itself, it's about the people behind it, the passion, the dedication, the real human connection.
It's a reminder that even in online worlds, it's the people that make all the difference.
So if you're looking for a UO experience that's welcoming, exciting, and run by people who truly care, UOAlive might just be the place for you.
You might even run into Triage in-game, you know, all excited about some new quest or feature he's working on.
Or maybe you'll sail the high seas with Yellow and Blue, exploring those huge oceans.
Maybe you'll pick up some crafting tips from Elder Smythe or get some guidance from Jay as you start your journey in Britannia.
The possibilities are endless, and that's the beauty of UOAlive. You can create your own story, your own path, and be a part of this amazing community.
So we'll leave you with this thought. What are you passionate about? What online communities inspire you? Maybe you have something to offer, some skill or perspective that could make a community even better.
And until next time, what kind of legend would you create in the world of UOAlive? Think about it.
Think about it.